Happy New Year. What's up, guys? This is my first video of 2025. I think I said that correctly. We can no longer say 2024. It is now illegal to put that on documents. How you guys doing? So, I intentionally didn't make a video yesterday to kind of harness the downloads that I got over New Year's Eve and New Year's Day yesterday. And this is something that I thought about before, but everything, Dharma and Karma controls reality, right? Not money. Money and the external reality, the materialism, is just illusion. Dharma and Karma control everything. Now, for those of you who don't know what Dharma is just the mental that controls the external karma. Right? Our thoughts create our reality. You know, if I'm thinking negatively about myself, my mood is lower. I'm not, I have less energy. And it creates karma. The lack of motivation, the lack of doing anything, right? Or like a karmic relationship where you're thinking negatively about somebody and you're not, interacting with them in the right way. Dharma creates karma. So karma rules everything, right? Our ability to lift one another up, pick each other up, provide healing energy for one another. That has nothing, and I realized this, and I've realized this for a long time. The reason that money was created was because of bad karma, right? If you live in a society where everybody is lifting each other up and they're naturally getting what they need through good karma, there's no reason for money. The only reason money exists is because somebody felt like they needed more than somebody else because they made a judgment on somebody else and thought that activity was negative, and now I got to have more material in my pocket than this other person. Here's the kicker, and this is the one that really gets you once you realize this one. Everything equals zero. So if you ever make a judgment on anything in this reality based on anything that you see, feel, anything, you're going to fall into negative dharma and ultimately negative karma, because everything equals zero. Not just over time, but like instantaneously. It's all the motions of the planets, the motions of everything are specifically choreographed to make sure that everything has to equal zero, because it's all coming from the same point. Remember, even if you look at your own biofield, it's all coming from your heart and going back to your heart. So at any one time, everything that you're doing equals this vessel, this mouse, all the molecule, all the things that we think that are, there's no particles. We've never found a particle, right? It's all empty space. The closer you look, the more you realize it's all empty space. It all equals zero. It doesn't matter how much, you could have $1 trillion in your bank account. Your energetic signature equals zero at all times. So whenever you place any kind of idea, oh, I need this or that, you're falling into illusion. And this is what the yogis started to realize. It's like, if you manifest, let's say, a fruit in your hand, like an apple, whether there's nothing there that you can see or something, it still equals zero. You're just pulling, it's like you're pulling apart source. You're taking a point in time and you're pulling it apart to create something that looks like it's solid, but the positive and negative part of that equals zero. That's why everything looks the way it does. That's why when you look at a toroidal field, it has two equal parts, positive, negative. Our biofield, our creative circuit, receiving circuit has two equal parts, right? 7 main chakras, right? If you cut your heart chakra in half, half of it's creating, half of it's receiving. But that's the source, right? So the source is everything's coming from it and going back to it, equals 0. Knowing that, the first time you realize that one, it's a sobering thing, right? Then your desire, it has a tendency to make your desire just go because it's like, no matter what I do, it's all going to equal 0 from now till the end of time. And time, that's why time's an illusion, because you're always at the 0 point. There, you cannot keep yourself. And they say, well, your vibration go down and up. Well, technically, if you're speaking, yes. If you're observing it, it looks like your vibration's going down, but that's just, it's always equaling 0. Now, you're just moving more information and energy as your frequency goes up, because you're getting closer to the actual 0 point where you can poof disappear interdimensionally, but it still equals 0. You can't get away from it, right? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it's not just belief, it's understanding. At any time, being tied to the past, if you're trying to pull yourself to the past, now you're leaking energy because you're not present. You're not perfectly in the 0 point. You are, but in order to balance itself out, now in order for the circuit to balance itself to 0, since you're leaking energy, let's say, this is just an example, let's say you're thinking about the past and you're just, having a negative emotional state regarding the past, okay? Not just talking about the past in a detached state. That's totally different, right? We can talk about anything in a detached state. But let's say you're having a negative emotional attachment to the past, whether it's guilt, shame, whatever. You're leaking energy, right? And so if you're not internally balanced, that leaking energy has to, the 0 state has to be maintained, which means instantaneously there's something feeding off of that energy. You have a parasitic attachment feeding off of that attachment. The only way to get rid of this negative dharma, which creates negative karma, is through meditation and fasting, right? Observing your mind, making sure you're controlling your own thoughts about yourself, about possible, not worrying about possible outcomes, whether or not you're going to have or not have something, because that's an illusion. Like we said, it always equals 0. And fasting, right? Not feeling the need to put something in your body, right? Because the illusion of like, I need this solid thing to put in my body to make me feel good. If you're whole and you're perfectly balanced, you're already at 0. And the only way to get that way, that's why meditation plus fasting. You can't have one without the other. It just does not work, right? And eventually, and that's how you unlock more awareness within your biofield and your cellular structure. Your cellular structure has all the information of the entire universe, right? Every single atom, every single thing has access to the 0 point, which has all the information and energy in the entire universe. If you're not accessing the 0 point, it means you're getting pulled into possible outcomes of the future, some kind of survival. So that's why the feeling like you need to eat creates that. It's very interesting. The psychology behind it is actually what unlocks it. Once you understand how to do it, you just have to do it, right? I have so many misunderstandings that I thought was truth before. It is helpful having equal give and take relationships, but not have as many equal give and take relationships, and there'll always be a little imbalance depending on how imbalanced you are, right? I mean, think about it this way. What, and I've thought about this. What if, because, I have a love interest that's very far away, right? What if we don't actually come together until perfectly balanced and we just turn into light bodies and just levitate towards one another? I don't know. Who's to say? Or could just manifest a bunch of money, right? I mean, because this world believes in the material realm, but so you have to entertain the illusion for other people in order to function in their illusion, right? If everybody let go of the illusion today, then we would just be free to move wherever and then just come to agreements and, hey, look, do we want to grow food here? What do we want? Do we want to build houses for this person? I mean, then it just doesn't matter, right? Because then the focus is worshiping the creator, or us, the heart space, versus just all the stuff, right? The body, any part of the body. Worshiping any part of the body is a waste of time. And this is all your body, right? That all physical reality it's you, but it's unconscious. And so it has momentum. That's what creates these laws of physics. I was watching Bashar talk, and he kind of talked about that, the observable reality of things that people think that are facts. But technically speaking, when you're looking at, we'll just use momentum as an example. If you're looking at a body that has momentum traveling through space, let's say I shoot a bullet out of a gun, and it has momentum. The only reason it has momentum is because it's unconscious. It has no conscious ability to change direction and forget about the fact that it just got shot out of a gun, right? So think about that, right? Let's say somebody tried, had just punched me in the face. I can actively choose whether to punch them back, not do anything, walk away, right? You have active choice. As your consciousness level rises, you can actively change the momentum of any sort of energy. And that's how you transmute negative energy in your environment. You're actively choosing not to react to it, not to entertain it. I hope this makes sense for you guys. These are all just things that, come to the awareness when you take long breaks off and you're resting and rejuvenating and understanding yourself at a much deeper level. Because when I, feeling the need for anything, and you'll notice that your body will get much better rest, especially if you're not eating. I had, it's the holidays, so I was eating quite a bit before I went to bed. And, yeah. But Dharma controls reality, and karma is the manifestation of that control. Because you're literally watching creation. That's the creator creating creation, right? So karma is, you can call it the creation, and Dharma is the creator. So it's pretty simple. You could even say that Dharma is active thought, and then you've got, I think the Dharma was written around the thought of just pure emptiness, right? So what some people call Dharma could vary a little bit. My definition of Dharma is just the thought form that's creating karma, right? Because you can fall into no thought, but if you're just at no thought, right? I mean, that's sort of how you get to the fasting state of long periods of fasting where you're in no thought, because you're not expending any energy towards anything. You're not actively trying to create anything. And then, active creation, we'll get there, right? I mean, how instantaneous you can get your creations, because thought creates creations, right? Everything everything that you see, especially that we've created, like this monitor that I'm looking at in this camera, was all a thought in someone's mind before it was created. But it took a long time to create that thing because of the vibrational state and the karmic state of all the people involved in that project. If your vibrational state is high enough, then poof, right? You could just, camera in front of me, bang. Then you'll start to really, I mean, that's when your vibrational state is to the point where you unlocked so much, you're so fully conscious. I mean, you know, when they do tests on our brains, they say we're only using, you know, less than 12% of our brain tissue. This is when you're unlocking higher and higher states of awareness where, you know, you're getting close to the event horizon. When you look at a black hole, they say all that, the light that's speeding up and spinning around the event horizon, that's all you're seeing. You're seeing the portal, the 0 point that's connected to every other point in space-time. Everywhere else is too, if you look at it close enough. But when you're just looking at anything, it appears as though that the stuff that's getting close to the event horizon is speeding up, and it's creating so much light. It's collecting so much light that vibrational is super high. So that's like right at the edge of creation, right? That's where there's a lot of stuff going on, just fast. Yeah. Love you guys. Let's just get a couple of oracle cards. I just want to share some insights for the new year, something for you guys to think about. And ultimately, you know, that's the ultimate healing, right? Is when you can, somebody gives you permission. You got to have somebody give you permission first, right? You don't just go around touching people without their permission. But you say, hey, look, I'm a healer. I see that you're hurting. Do you mind if I lay a hand on you? And if they say yes, I mean, if you have the kind of vibrational resonance that you need, I mean, you could change their appearance, boom, like that. They just have to give you permission, because it always equals 0. It doesn't matter. You're not actually changing anything. Remember, you're not changing anything. I love that scene from The Matrix, where the kids, you know, are bending the spoon. The spoon does not exist, and he goes like this, and the spoon goes. Meh. It's true. None of this stuff exists. Mother Earth and new chapter. So we're entering a new chapter, and we're taking care of Mother Earth, right? Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one.